What came first, a feeling or a thought? Hello and welcome to Productively Mindful. My name is Yolanda Schultzes. I hope you enjoy your stay here. I hope you find value in this video. Last night I was getting really frustrated because I couldn't fall asleep because my mind was racing. I was thinking loads of irrelevant things in the moment, loads of things that I could not control in that moment, and loads of things that haven't even happened yet. I bet that sounds very familiar because most of us do that. But what also became clear while I was doing this unnecessary thinking is that feelings and thoughts have a very strong correlation between each other. The correlation being thoughts will give rise to feelings, and feelings will give rise to thoughts. And it's a cycle that keeps happening over and over and over again. And it's the reason why we suppress emotionally. Let's say you had some sort of a event happen in school, something that made you feel very, very ashamed, very, very self-conscious, very, very self-aware in a bad way. Something that sticks with you for a very long time. This emotion of shame, maybe guilt in some sort of way, maybe anxiety. The majority of us in situations like that will do our best to suppress the emotion and just power through whatever that situation is without feeling too much, because we feel like if we feel too much in that emotion, it's going to be overwhelming and it's going to hinder our performance in whatever we're doing and whatever is happening in that moment. So we just suppress it and we just carry on with our life. Just carry on moving forward, thinking if we suppress this, all is going to be well. Nothing is going to happen. This moment is just gonna go and never happen again. But unbeknownst to us, two things happen. Number one is that we start avoiding experiences in life that can cause similar feelings, similar situations, similar results. That's where things like people-pleasing can start happening. Maybe perfectionism. You might become an introvert from a situation like that. You'll start developing different kinds of traits and ways to approach similar situations where you can suppress those situations easier or completely avoid them, which is not good. And secondly, we will just suppress. We will keep experiencing similar situations, similar feelings, and we will keep suppressing them as best as we can. The problem with the fact that we suppress this feeling, this emotion that happened from whatever happened at school, in that event, whatever it may be, again, as an example, if we suppress it, that does not mean that it's gone. It is simply suppressed. It's like we're adding stuff to the bank of our emotional weight, and it keeps making us heavier and heavier. Our soul, our energy, it becomes heavier and heavier from all these suppressed emotions. And they don't go away anywhere because they are the ones that add to the weight. They are stored in the banks of our soul, of our energy. And they sit there and they wait patiently until they can resurface again, to show up and give us an opportunity to let go. But we don't do that because it's uncomfortable. So we keep suppressing. And every single time that same feeling, emotion arises, it becomes a little bit stronger every single time. Bit by bit, it keeps creating thousands of thoughts throughout the duration of the suppression. The longer it is suppressed, the more it builds up upon itself to become stronger and stronger. Without even arising, it causes us suffering and misery because of the thoughts that arise. Just think about when you go to a shower or you're in bed and it is the perfect opportunity for you to go deep into your subconscious and start thinking about these events that have happened years ago perhaps. And you're like, oh my God, I wish I wouldn't have done that because my crush at the time thought that I'm an absolute loser, or thought that I'm cringe as hell. Just weird things like that. It's completely irrelevant right now, but you start overthinking these things. Showers are perfect for that. When you go to bed, it's a perfect time for that as well. So not only does it create an insane amount of these thoughts because we suppress that emotion and feeling, and those thoughts keep causing us suffering every single time, even though the event is out of our control at this point. It also creates tension. Every single thought that arises because of that suppressed emotion and feeling creates tension in our body. Not only physical tension, but it also creates energetic tension. And energetic tension does not mean spiritual tension. It does obviously contain spiritual tension, but it actually creates energetic tension. Like our whole nervous system functions because of electrical signals, which is energy. Our whole body is made up of atoms, small building blocks of everything material in our universe. Every single atom can be expressed as a wave function. Waves are frequencies. Energy is a frequency. So all of our body starts dysfunctioning because of the block of energies. The signals that travel along our nervous system start becoming weaker, less efficient. Our body starts developing dysfunction. We start having brain fog. We start getting stressed. We start getting anxious. We start developing chronic diseases. We start having bad digestion. A multitude of things that we start medicating ourselves for by trying to solve the symptoms as opposed to looking at the cause as to why the symptoms are there. So this emotional suppression can lead to so many issues, so many problems, and we are completely unaware of it because we think that if we suppress our emotions, it's going to be easier because we don't have to deal with it. And if they're suppressed, they won't arise again. And when they do arise again, we think, why is this happening? As opposed to realizing that this is an opportunity once again for us to let go of whatever we have suppressed, to finally liberate ourselves from this suffering that keeps arising over and over and over again, but we're just oblivious to it. So how do we do that? How do we let go of those feelings that arise, of those instances of emotional suppression? How do we make use of those opportunities? There's a very simple concept of surrender, a spiritual concept of surrender. Now, a lot of people are not into spirituality, so surrendering might not be something that you are familiar with or even comfortable with. You don't want to surrender to feeling, right? So how do we surrender then? Because if you're not into spirituality, you probably won't know how to surrender. How do we do it? First of all, we don't suppress. Suppression is denial. Suppression is resistance of what your mind is bringing to the surface. If your mind is bringing a feeling, an emotion, a sensation to the surface, that means there's a reason behind it. If you suppress it, it's like, it's going to be a disgusting example, but it's like wanting to throw up, and you throw up into your mouth and then you just swallow it. It's the exact same thing. You have to let it happen. You have to let the emotion arise without becoming it. You have to observe it. You have to sit with the emotion, with the feeling. It's uncomfortable. It's very unfamiliar. It's very foreign. That task, that practice of surrender through observation, through mindful, aware observation. What happens when we observe is we start following something called the way of Tao. We start finding balance. We start finding equanimity in our mind. And if we start finding equanimity in our mind, if we start finding balance, we go on a straight path right where we need to go, right where we want to go. But if we jump from one extreme to the other, we start waving through the life that we are experiencing. And the journey becomes so much longer to whatever abundance that we want to get to. In many cases, it can become so long that we never end up getting to the abundance that we want to get to throughout the duration of our life. And we struggle to leave this place with a smile on our face. But if we sit there and we mindfully observe whatever's happening in our body, without trying to change it, without denying it, without resisting it, just simply being an observer. Because you are the observer of everything that happens in your body and mind within that framework. Thoughts are just manifestations of your mind. Your mind is just what allows you to perceive and experience life. But you're the one that observes your mind. You're the one that observes those emotions and feelings. You're the one that observes the functionality of your body and mind. So if you can just simply observe those emotions and feelings without becoming them, without becoming your mind, without becoming your body, they will eventually dwindle away because you don't become them. That means you remain the observer, you remain the awareness. And it also means you don't suppress it, because by suppressing, again, you become the mind, you become the body, as opposed to just being an observer. So that's as simple as that. All you have to do is just observe, non-judgmentally, with acceptance, with embrace. Just recognize the fact that the emotion is there. Recognition is the first step of a 5-step process of emotional well-being that I talk about on this channel all the time. It is the basis of a cycle that we can keep using over and over again that will liberate us from the suffering that we experience in life, which is all there because we don't feel the way we are supposed to feel. We don't experience life the way we are supposed to experience life, because experience is proper, correct feeling. If you want to check out more about that cycle that I talk about, that 5-step process, I linked the video above and underneath where I talked about it. There's also 3 key concepts that I talk about, which is awareness, surrender, and wisdom. I have also made a video about these 3 key concepts, which again, I'll link above and underneath. I'll have to space them out a little bit, so they give a very surface level explanation as to why we want to use that 5-step process and why we want to use these 3 key concepts to be able to use that 5-step process to liberate ourselves from the emotional suffering that we experience most of our lives. It's very, very powerful. It is very repeatable, and it gives you a very good understanding as to why you feel the way you feel. It gives you the ability to catch yourself before you start feeling the feeling. So it's a lot easier to become aware of what the feeling is going to be, then recognize it, then accept it, embrace it, create understanding, and create insight into that feeling. And you keep doing it over and over and over again, and it becomes easier every single time, and eventually you become liberated from your emotions. Anger disappears, sadness disappears, grief disappears, happiness becomes the predominant emotion, joy, contentment, peace. It does work. It is a powerful process, and it is very, very easy to learn. If you want to learn more about the process after you watch the videos or even after this video, I have a free community called the Flame Keepers, somebody who looks after their flame, their soul, by no longer suppressing their emotions, mindfully integrating them, and turning them into a superpower to become a spiritual warrior. You can see the link underneath this video, click on it, and the community is completely free. We have daily affirmation guidance there. We have weekly group meetings. We have exclusive monthly content, one of which is going to come out very, very soon. We also have a meditation bank there, which is going to be redone very, very soon. So it has a very specific focus on building awareness. And we also have 3 weekly themes going on where I check in with everyone to make sure everybody is doing well emotionally, to make sure that we share our wins throughout the week, and also give you some small tools and techniques that you can use every single week to get better at your emotional development. Again, the link is underneath the video. If you click on it, check it out. Check out the community, it's completely free. And hopefully I can see you there. Otherwise, if you did enjoy the video, if you click like and subscribe to my channel, it helps a lot, because the more likes I get, the more subscriptions I get, the more the videos get pushed out to the wider audience, and the more value I can add to everybody else, the more content I can post. So it's a win-win situation. Also leave a comment. Do you agree with what I said? Do you disagree? I'm interested to learn about different perspectives, because everything that I talk about is from personal experience. So super keen to hear different perspectives. Otherwise, this has been Elanda Schultes from Productively Mindful. As always, I love you all, and I'll speak to you all very, very soon. Goodbye.